Well, let's see how this works. This is not my first official ride for 2018, but it's the first official documented ride. My first vlog of 2018 for sure. Man, so let's go back. 2 seasons ago, I made a bunch of videos, and I lost all the footage because my daughter wanted me to download some music for her phone, and in doing so, I ended up downloading a virus and lost all the footage. So that happened then. I don't know if I touched upon it in any videos since. I may or may not have mentioned that, but that's what happened then. Last season, towards the end of the season, I had a bunch of video, and again, technical difficulties struck, and sure enough, I lost a whole bunch of that. And the only video I was able to sort of salvage was the torque helmet, the 3/4 helmet video I did. But the technical problems I was having was with my microphone. So again, I lost all the footage. So this is the first official video of 2018. My second big ride of 2018. So anyways, I had the bike taken apart before I departed on this trip, and I'll get into where I am and what I'm about in a little bit. But I had the bike taken apart because I had a coolant leak, and I needed to replace the lower coolant hose, the one that goes from the rad to the water pump. And so I did that, had it taken apart, and then I left and pulled a wicked rookie move. And the reason it's so wicked is because what I did was I took the whole bike apart, took the tank off, drained the coolant, replaced the hose, refilled it, and then bled the system, put it all back together. I didn't video it just because, yeah, reasons. Why didn't I film it? Oh, because I wanted to film a video. I wanted to film like a vlog, like a first official riding vlog. And my computer is down at the school, which I'll get into what that's all about shortly here. So I only have so much time because I'm missing a memory card. One of my memory cards, of course, technical difficulties. Shit the bed. So I'm down to one memory card, and so I was saving the memory for filming riding videos. And so I did that, got the bike up and running. The next day I had to leave, and it's a 5-hour commute to where I'm at school right now. So I was trying to save footage for that. So sure enough, jump on the bike, get riding, I'm all gung-ho. 2 kilometers down the road, the bike dies. And so like a noob, of course, after doing all that maintenance on the bike, looked it over, good to go, forgot to turn the fuel back on. So 2 kilometers down the road, the bike died. And the reason I didn't get that on video is because, you know, the camera's all charged up, ready to go. I was checking the batteries, making sure it's all good to go. Well, you know, because I was preparing like a smart guy would do. And once again, you know, calamity strikes, and I left the camera running, killed the battery. So not only did I have a brain fart, and I forgot to turn on the fuel, and I died, but I also forgot to turn off the camera so that I could film my video that I was filming. So the camera was dead, and I didn't get any of that either. So the first official ride didn't get filmed. So this is this is the second official ride, and the first official vlog for like the 17th time. So what am I doing? I was in the Army. I was in the Armored Corps. Well, a couple of years before that, you know, between my motorcycle accident and being in the Armored Corps, combat arms is a young man's game. And just the wear and tear on your body, it's pretty brutal. And so I've had a lot of injuries, and, you know, giving me the opportunity to really look at my life and put things into perspective and decide what's most important to me, and longevity and whatnot, and wanting to be able to stay employed, make a future for my family, and, you know, work towards retirement where I can do whatever the hell I want. I decided the best thing for me to do would be change trades. So I changed trades. I put in the application, did all the paperwork, all that nonsense. It's a long process, but I was approved, I was accepted, and I changed trades to Air Force, and I'm now currently trained to be aircraft structure technician. So that brings me back, check out that view. Oh, squirrel. So that brings me back to where I am and what I'm doing. So from where I'm posted, where I live, the training base, the school, where I'm doing my course is about 4.5, 5 hour commute down south. And the course, there's two parts to it. There's like oh, that was a good shot. There's two parts to this course. There's like a pre-course that I got to do, like anybody in the tech trades got to do. It's basically your introduction to the tech trades in the Canadian Armed Forces. And I did that. That was 2 months long, and that was in the fall. And a bunch of the footage that I lost was part and parcel, was filmed during that time. Because I took the bike and I went on some adventures up there and lost all the footage, either most of it due to the fact that the microphone shit the bed. So then I just said, fuck it, I'm not filming anymore, I'm just gonna ride for fun and whatever, that's that, I don't give a shit. So, what's up, brother? Fucking awesome day for a ride. So yeah, so I lost a bunch of that footage too. I gave up, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna ride. Instead of wasting my time fucking around with technical difficulties that may or may not happen, because some of the footage was partially usable, some of it wasn't. I said, fuck it. Ordered a new microphone and over the winter, and got that all sorted out. So now I'm back on my actual trades course, which is a year long. So I'm at school during the week, and then I go home on the weekends. Now that the good weather's here, it's May 18th, and I rode back. So I did the cool line the day before I had to leave. Took off the next day. That's when all the calamities struck with the forgetting to turn the camera off, so I didn't kill the battery, and then I killed the battery, and then the bike died. So I rode down. It was an awesome ride, and so now I'm making my way home. This is Algonquin Park, and I decided to turn the camera on at this point in the journey. It's about the halfway point, a little bit past the halfway point, just because I cut through Barrie, just skirt the southern end of it, I believe it is, and it was super windy, and it's a long weekend. The traffic's probably going to be brutal. It'll probably be in bumper to bumper for the first hour or so of the trip, and fuck, that's not interesting footage. It'll probably be just me cussing out other drivers and whatnot. So I was like, I'll just wait till I get somewhere where it's a little more calm. It's a beautiful ride here. The trees are just starting to kind of try to blossom, I guess. There's still a few spots where there's actually ice and snow off to the side of the road. May or may not see some as we go, but I decided it would probably be better. I'm not going quite as high speed. There won't be as much wind. So in the event that I'm getting blown around a lot, or there's a lot of vibration, or the wind's kicking up in the bottom of my helmet, it would just make for better sound again, because I've had so many technical difficulties. Hopefully this is actually coming out now. We'll see, because this is my first test run, obviously, to see that my equipment's working. So yeah, this is Algonquin Park. I'll be ripping through here back and forth during, twice a week, going to and from my course. And as much as I can, I'm going to ride. And I've got plans to put out a couple more videos. I'll do a couple vlogs as things come up here and there. I don't mind doing that every once in a while. I'm going to have a gear demo coming out. My wife for Christmas bought me a rain suit, which I didn't own before. And the reason for that was partly because of the commutes, mainly because I'm stubborn and I want to ride. Not that I intentionally go out if it's raining, but if I get caught in the rain, you know what? That's just the way it is. I'm out. That's it. I'll be riding the rain. And the big motivator for it was one of the rides I did on my way home on the Friday. We were expecting to get off early. It was supposed to be like, hey, 1 o'clock, we'll cut everyone loose, send them home for the day. And so 1 o'clock, midday, it was like really nice weather, and that's when I was supposed to leave, so it was no big deal. We ended up staying till 4 at the end of the day, and then with all the traffic and stuff, I got held up a bit. Well, there was a huge rainstorm coming through, like torrential downpour, 60-kilometer-hour winds, and I was pretty much riding into the heart of it, and there was no getting around it, there was no avoiding it. At the time I had left, it was inevitable. I had about an hour to travel, 2 hours if I was going to beat it, and it just wasn't happening. I got caught in the middle of it, and without proper rain gear, and the wind, I was getting blown all over the highway. Transports are passing me, and the blow off from them is blowing me all over. It was a nightmare. So I only made it barely 45 minutes or an hour north, and I was just like, you know what, I gotta tap out. Like, I'm soaking wet, I'm freezing, I can barely operate the bike, and it's just not safe right now. So I pulled over, and what should have been, you know, an hour back was about closer to 6, because the rain was so heavy and the traffic was so bad, and I couldn't see anything. And I spent most of that time stuck underneath of an abandoned garage, just underneath the awning on it, trying to stay as dry as I could, trying to wait out the storm. And I was frozen solid. It was just miserable. It was later in the fall, so I think by that point it was like, it was starting to get dark, and it was like 4 to 6 degrees Celsius. So I was trying to wait it out, and it got to the point where, you know, I was checking my phone to see, like, what's up with this weather? Is it ever going to stop? And I got like a frost warning, so I was like, you know what? I've got like an hour and a half until this takes effect. I got to push on. So I limped the bike back to where I was staying, and spent the night. And my wife was, obviously, the wife and kids were really upset because I couldn't make it home that night. I went back the next day. Of course, I had all my leathers, and they were soaking wet, so they didn't get to dry enough overnight. And I rode back, and it was, I mean, it was super bright, it was awesome conditions for riding. But considering the fact that my jacket and chaps were soaked, I was actually, by the time I got back, I was like hypothermic, and I was in a bad spot. For the majority of the weekend, I was really, really bad shape. So my wife for Christmas, long story short, she got me the rain suit. So I'm planning on doing a video for that. Do a little ride with that next opportunity I get when it rains, and I'll be seeing how it works. So that's something I've got in the works, coming up soon. Hopefully, I'm not hoping for rain, but I'm hoping to get the chance to try it out and see how I like it. Just because I've been really fortunate this entire week, and it's been really beautiful weather. So it only rained the one day, but I was stuck in class anyway, so it didn't matter. It stopped when I was done class, so I was like, well, obviously I'm jumping on the bike and I'm getting out for a quick rip before I have to study. So I did that, but so yeah, that's in a nutshell, that's what I've been up to, and that's what I got plans for this season. Hopefully I get to do some more riding videos. I've got plans to go. There's an Indian dealership out in Barrie that I want to check out, see some of the bikes down there, see if I can get on a couple of ride events. Pretty much with any dealership that is putting them out there this season. I know there's a Harley one in Ottawa. It was either last weekend or this weekend, and I can't remember. Pretty sure it was last weekend. I'm pretty confident I missed it. But I'd like to get a bunch of that done if I can. And in between my studies, I'll be riding as much as possible. So